Hi, my name is Alfie. If you're new here, very big warm welcome. If this is the first video you clicked on, or just looked at me, you think, oh, that's a funny lad, or looks funny. I'm a day-to-day runner making YouTube content all about running shoes, any tips and tricks, facts and figures about anything, and everything to do with running or linked with running. But if you want to learn more, or just want to enjoy my content, or you're enjoying my content, drop me a subscribe, drop me a like, and let's get straight into the video. Now, today's video is all about this one amazing shoe. So, this video is going to be comprised of 3 different sections, or 3 different bits. The first bit is all going to be about the overview of the shoe and my first impressions. The second bit, it's going to be all about how I went at it to test the shoe. And the third thing is the pros and cons of the shoe and my final verdict. So grab a bag of popcorn, sit down, relax, put your fluffy socks on, and hope you enjoy the video. So coming in at £200, this is by far one of the most expensive shoes on the market currently. Not as expensive as the Adidas Pro Evo 3, which is getting released in, I think, on June the 17th or 7th, which is probably coming out at £450. It's quite cheaper than that, but still one of the expensive ones. The second thing is weight. Comparing the Superblast 2 to the Superblast 3, the Superblast 3 comes in 239 grams, which is 10 to 15 grams lighter than its predecessor. The next thing is the drop. The drop is 8mm with, I believe, 46.5mm at the back and 38.5mm at the forefoot. And then the stack, it's a sort of like a max cushion super trainer that you can pretty much do anything and everything in. And just for context, this is a size UK 13. So, my first impressions. Honestly, I was really impressed with the shoe. I couldn't get my mind around how comfortable, how versatile, and how stable this shoe was, due to the fact it's got the FF Blast Plus on the bottom, and then you got ASICS new sort of super trainer or super shoe foam in it, which is the FF Elite, which is just a thin midsole going through there they use in their race day shoes, and it makes it sort of feel springy, light, and responsive. But let's move on to the performance testing. So you're now probably wondering, how on earth have I put this through testing? Now, I've done about 30k in this shoe, and as you can tell, it hasn't changed at all. Obviously, a little bit of dirt and everything to change the colour of the bottom. That's what you expect. And then a little bit of cosmetic wear on the foam, but nothing at all, as you expect for 30k. But so let's start off with easy runs. So I've put this through one easy run, one sort of steady tempo kind of run, and then I haven't put it through a long run yet, so I'll get you back on that. But this shoe is definitely one of those shoes you can put on for everything. But let's start with the first thing. So easy runs. This shoe handles easy runs so well. But the one take back I do have from it is it's a little bit firm at the bottom. But I'm not the one to complain about a little bit of firmness at the bottom, considering you got a racing foam at the top here. And it's definitely light underfoot. And that's what's going to lead me on to the next point with my tempo / steady run. It's super light. When you start running in it, it's sort of more or less disappears under your foot. Not completely, but it's nice and light, nice and springy, nice, just nice to run in. And it's definitely a shoe that it can take you over the long run, which is going to lead me on to my last point about this. Is I haven't worn it for a long run, but definitely going to wear it soon, as it will soak up the miles really well. It's such a comfortable and versatile shoe to the point where you can put those long runs in, and it's got enough foam for impact protection. It will take you those longer miles, and it's something you can just enjoy. It's fun. You can put a bit of pace behind it. You can do your easy runs, steady runs. It's such a versatile shoe that you'd be damned if you didn't get this, if not something similar to this, in your next running shoe purchase. But let's move on to my final verdict. And conclude this video, I'm going to give my final verdict on this shoe. So, let's start off with the positives. So, it's such a lightweight shoe for the amount of stack and amount of foam in this shoe. As you can tell, there is loads of foam in this shoe, and definitely is such a great one, especially for its weight and its versatility. The next thing is, like I just said, it's versatile. You can do your easy runs, your long runs, your steady runs, even maybe a little bit of tempo / threshold work in this, to the point where you can use it for everything and anything during your week. And this is probably the only shoe, if you're starting out, if not looking for an all-round shoe, this is definitely a shoe you'd be looking for. And then with the FF Leap, which is this foam I mentioned earlier at the top bit of the shoe, it's got a nice, great energy return, and the mix between this nice sort of soft and bouncy foam and this firmer FF Blast Plus under it, it makes it such an amazing shoe. And the last thing is, it's so comfortable in the sense of when you put your foot in, it's just secure, it's comfortable, it's generally such a nice shoe to be wearing out for your runs, for your long runs, and definitely can last over those longer miles. But what must come up must come down. So the first one, and I said it earlier, it was the price tag, or mentioned it earlier, coming in at £200, which is really, really steep, especially for majority of people out there, especially with cost of living. But it's definitely a shoe that's worth considering buying as well. So moving on to the next bit, is it may feel too high for some runners, maybe too much stack out in the back, if not too much stack in general. So it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, maybe you're not used to it, or if not used to high stack shoes and prefer lower stack, and that's perfectly okay. And the last thing is, it's not ideal if you prefer maybe those firmer or stable daily trainers. I can't list any off my top of my head now, but if you prefer those stable firmer shoes, maybe the Superblast 2 may be tickling your fancy. Same price tag, firmer foam, or something else across the range. Now, personally, I give this a 10 out of 10, 1,000 out of 10, a million out of 10, just because of how much I like it. Some people might prefer it to other shoes. Some people might prefer the Superblast 2. So if you can share your own opinion down below, whether you've worn the Superblast 2, Superblast 3 and so on, let me know how you found it. But if you're looking for one premium shoe that can handle almost everything from daily miles to long runs to fast efforts, the Superblast 3 is way too hard to ignore. So thank you for listening to the video if you've gotten up to this point. If you want to see more videos like this, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, and hope you have a nice day or evening or whenever you're watching this video.